Hello and welcome to the channel. Let's take a look at what General Mkhwanazi has uncovered. He took a brave stance of not following the normal route in order for these stories not to be swept under the carpet. Then we see Cyril Ramaphosa releasing a statement saying that he will attend to the allegations made by General Mkhwanazi on the 6th of July as soon as he returns from the BRICS summit taking place in Brazil. In the meantime, Mchunu, Sibiya, and now several statements have been released, and we'll take a look at all the sentiments around the story as we see the brave minister saying that there is no peace between a criminal and a police officer. What are your thoughts on his sentiments and how he went about his task force duties on this one? Please give this video a thumbs up. Let's take a look at the sentiments around this move.
Lensizwa kaMkhwanazi yangishayisa ngovale ngathi izothi meqeda inkulumo yayo besithi hayi sengiyawuthatha umbuso. Hayi ngicabangisa lensizwa yaseBurkina Faso kuthiwa Ibrahim. Hayi inokhakha yayo eqinile.
I've decided to take this fight head on. So the least that can ever happen to me is to someone to come and attack me, or somebody to issue instruction that Mkhwanazi must be fired from the police, or suspended, or arrested for that matter. What I know, what I like about KwaZulu-Natal, especially in South Africa at large, we've got very dedicated people out there, from the law enforcement as well as private sector, especially the security companies, that we are running the streets with them on a daily basis, who understand that there's a rot in this organization, who understand these problems that you're talking about, and they're not going to sit back and allow this thing to continue. So I'm inviting all of them. I'm inviting the citizens to stand up and protect these men and women who are standing for the truth in this organization. They must protect them. Whether I'm there or not there, fight must go on. We must protect this country against crime. It's all what we can do. So whatever happens to me happens. I'll take it, whatever happens, happens. If it's prison, it will be prison. It's already on communication planned by Mkhwanazi, the DNC, and the Chief of Staff, that they must deal with my matters. Whatever matters comes, they will come. But what we must not surrender is this country and our children to be controlled by drug syndicates. And that's what is currently happening.
We really trained. We put proper. Mkhwanazi was the head of the special forces of.
Even back then,
he's a highly decorated police, by the way. Mkhwanazi is one of the top special task force guys, and your French special forces could not train without him.
Wow!
Visiting as a training partner with them and all that. He's a really cop. So he was heading then the special forces.
Days of statements and populism have ended. If he has got evidence on them, he must arrest them. We're not a country of lawlessness. We don't want statements. We don't want press briefings. We want people to be arrested. If you are doing crime, you're putting drugs in our country, you're working with criminals, arrest them. We don't want commissioners that are becoming politicians. We want commissioners that act. His role as a commissioner of police is to arrest those who do crime. Now, we don't want him to be a pop star. If he wants to contest politics, he must come to branches of the ANC and contest. But if he wants to be a commissioner, he must arrest those who do crime. We don't want statements, we want arrests.
South Africans, Asleben guys, I've just come across a video Mkhwanazi. I think ubenza press briefing, and the fage informed that I've never seen. At first I thought inform Masemola, but I've never seen that uniform worn by like a police officer. So Onolwazi, please share my comment if what does that uniform mean? Because I was like, different uniform. Nendaba beyikhipha lapha go minister no Mchunu, not Mayor Mchunu. I was watching a lot of video clips, so I know Mayor was mentioned somewhere. But we minister le eyamaphoyisa Mchunu guys. Hayibo. Yazi video ngiyayibuka nje. I'm like, hayibo, kwenzakalani?
How's it? So let's talk about it. The movie that is South Africa. All right. But let's start with number one on the call sheet. Okay. The Man, Him, The Equalizer, John Wick, All right, and we are speaking about Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, #1 at the box office. Okay, let's get into this movie. So yesterday we were busy prepping our 7 colors, and then the general said, hold on, add this side of corruption to your Sunday lunch, right? And he essentially came out in a press conference which almost felt like a plea. This was on Sunday, the 6th of July, which almost felt like a plea, but also a show of strength. Like, I want to do my job, and these are the people that are stopping me from doing my job. He essentially confirmed that high-ranking politicians and members of the judiciary are involved in organized crime syndicates, especially related to the unaliving of political figures, as well as whistleblowers who are trying to unearth corruption, right? So where does this begin? It starts in 2018. If you recall, in the KZN, we had a lot of political figures being unalived, right? And so President Cyril Ramaphosa puts together a task team that is going to tackle politically motivated unalivings across the provinces, right? And so the boys get right into it. So from 2018 to 2025, the task team opened a total of 612 case dockets. The task team secured over 100 convictions, including 29 life sentences. And I kid you not, on the 31st of December, the task team was being disbanded. An order was sent through via the Minister of Police. On the 26th of March this year, 2025 then, 125 case dockets that were under investigation, these are his words, are taken away from the task team as directed by Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Sibiya. Remember, he does not have the powers to do so. Who was acting on behalf of Mchunu to disband the team. Once again, another one does not have the powers to do so, right? So essentially what happened is that they then pulled all these cases that are related to who? Our 2 Skibengas, Cat and Brown Dash, right? So Cat and Brown Dash are starting to feel the heat, right? And so he accused Mchunu of essentially being compromised as Minister of Police, of disbanding this team that he had no right to disband, and of being corrupt and trying to defeat the ends of justice, right? And this is how he caught him. So he said, first of all, how dare you, when we asked you about Brown Dash and Cat in Parliament, you said you didn't know who those niggas were. And now all of a sudden, here's the evidence, WhatsApps. Here's proof of you traveling with this one. But in Parliament, you lied and you said you didn't know these people when you were being questioned about these people, right? And lying to Parliament is the worst offense. You've broken your oath. Out with you. Off with your head. Okay? He brought more receipts. You have to watch the press conference. I can't get through it all. So obviously today we got a variety of responses. The first one that I saw was from Fikile Mbalula, who said the general is bordering on lawlessness, and this is where my opinion has to come in now. So what they're going to do is they're going to Kansas City shuffle us, right? They're going to make us look left while they do things on the right. They're going to try and inundate us with the fact that the general didn't follow protocol, process. He should have sent this to General so-and-so and then to the National Commissioner and so on and so forth. But the general is quite literally saying the entire chain of command, except for the National Police Commissioner, what did we say his name was again? Masemola.
I have not signed it, and I don't think anybody have ever seen a letter where I've signed off the closure of the unit.
And number 2, he was the one who stripped Cat, remember, Skibenga, of a 360 million rand tender with SAS, which was cancelled. So they're going to try and disrupt us and say people didn't follow protocol. The protocol, the systems, the whole thing has been captured. It's broken. He had no choice but to come out and say, hey, South Africans, this is what's going on. And personally, I appreciate it. The ANC Youth League comes out of retirement, obviously only to ever defend corruption, and said days of statements and populism have ended. If he's got the evidence, he must arrest them. And then Lieutenant Mkhwanazi said, good shot. And then this morning, laid charges against Senzo Mchunu. So clearly he has the evidence to back up his chat yesterday. So that's that, ANC Youth League. Thanks for coming to the party. And then Senzo Mchunu himself said the Minister of Police will never allow his integrity, that of the ministry, or that of SAPS at large, without evidence or due process from anyone, including Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. We will be reviewing the provincial commissioner statements and consider appropriate action. Now, this is where we must be cautious, okay? So, are they going to suspend him? If they suspend him, it kind of almost looks like they're co-signing corruption. Are they going to fire him? It no longer kind of feels like it is then a co-sign of corruption. And now we await cupcake.
Well, there you have it, sentiments coming in there. Now, obviously, many will be commending the bravery of General Mkhwanazi, who is sincerely looking to protect the citizens of South Africa and also work towards avoiding a mafia-held state. Now, we see a lot of people also coming to defend themselves, those that were implicated according to his presser, distancing themselves from the names and association with any criminal activity. Those that are trying to defend Senzo Mchunu and those that are trying to rubbish the claims made by General Mkhwanazi. Now, there are some analysts and some who are saying, no, why did he break protocol? Why is he wearing a camouflage uniform? Why is he having people carrying rifles and what next to him? The EFF has called for the resignation of Senzo Mchunu, while we see that Zungula's ATM has requested the public protector to then investigate the allegations made against the police minister. We know that when Cyril Ramaphosa returns, he will probably say he's going to launch a commission of inquiry as usual, whereas we saw him act so quickly against the DA deputy minister, and would like to see more of that even against his own favorites. What are your thoughts on how this is planning out? Can the community save or protect Mkhwanazi? We have seen some already making threats upon his life, upon his job. Is that necessary? Because if people are innocent, they should just weigh it out in the courts of law. And if he's lying, let them sue him. I think that is the best approach. Nobody should be losing their jobs. We are not a mafia state. We have freedom of speech. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.